Wherever there's trouble, G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro, fighting to save the day. He never gives up. He's always there, fighting for freedom.
Thank you for doing this. We're at the DFW GI Joe Show here in Grapevine, Texas. My man Larry Hama, right here next to me. We did this a few, back in January, and this is going to be a great follow-up. And we thank everybody for watching and enjoying it. Larry, one thing that the fans talked about in the last interview that we did was they wanted to know more about you continuing with issue 156 with IDW. Now we talked about it, but they kind of want to know more about the minutia. Like, where were you? Where were you when you got the call? How were you feeling? Talk a little bit about that.
I have no idea.
That's Larry there.
I have no memory of it at all. They called me and said if I wanted to do it. I said okay.
But were you surprised by it at all? I mean, did you talk it over with your family, or was there any decision process in making it, or was it an automatic yes?
Yeah, I don't discuss my business stuff with them.
Well, right.
They don't discuss their business stuff with me.
Well, did you feel like it was going to be kind of like this is going to be a next chapter of my life, and revisiting that stuff? Was there any trepidation there?
No, it's just like going home.
Right. Well, a lot of times, how with music and bands and stuff, people want old members to be playing in the band. Or look, that was back in the past. They don't want to revisit it. Was there anything that you were worried about in terms of the legacy of the original run? Was there any fears there or anything?
No, because I don't put up with that.
Yeah, you hear that?
If they want me to do something I don't want to do, I just quit.
That's right.
If they try to direct me in any way, I quit. If they, I don't take art direction well. I don't take any sort of direction. Even when I do sketches, people ask for a character. I draw the character. They start saying, "Well, I want him to be holding this, standing this way, and blah blah blah." I said, "Well, that's a commission. That's fine." That pretty much discourages them.
as we saw a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But you do. Why should I aggravate myself?
That's right.
I mean, I'd just rather go drive a truck.
Well, I've always have taken inspiration from you because I'm the same way. I'm kind of my own person. I'm doing my own thing, and so for when you're a reader of GI Joe, for as long as I have, that kind of rebel punk spirit really comes through with that. One of the things that people really enjoyed last time that we talked about was a lot of non-Joe stuff. If you're not familiar, Larry's an old punk from the Village, from 1970s Bowery punk era. One thing that's been on everybody's kind of mind right now, and maybe yours as well, is the really sad news that we got last week when whatever happened with Anthony Bourdain. I was wanting to know, did you ever have any interactions with Tony, or did you ever meet him? Or?
No, but a good old friend who played drums on a bunch of our demos, and we shared studio space with this guy, and he was a high school buddy of Anthony Bourdain's. His name's Jeff Formosa, and he just posted a whole bunch of photo booth strips, of him and Tony Bourdain at Palisades Park in New Jersey. It must have been from the 70s.
Right.
Maybe even earlier, because I think they tore the place down. And they were pretty tight. The Japanese were pretty dumbfounded.
Yeah, for sure. And even us, because I have some friends that know Tony very well as well. My friend Dave Ketchum, who plays in the band Eagles of Death Metal. When Tony and them came out to where Dave lives, a place called Rancho de la Luna, outside of the high desert, they did an episode of, I believe it was of Parts Unknown there. And if you hear the theme song to Parts Unknown, that's those guys. It's Mark Lanigan and my buddy Dave Ketchum and all that. So I personally didn't know Tony, but I know, like I said, I have some friends that are just, but even without knowing him, I feel like we're all kind of dumbfounded. How did it affect you?
Well, I didn't know the guy.
Right. I mean, but just kind of, right. I just mean like from a distance. I'm sure you were aware. Were you a fan? Did you watch the show at all? Or?
Yeah, I've watched the show. I think he's. You just, it's impossible to know somebody else's demons.
That's right.
So,
that's what really shows you, doesn't it? You don't really know anybody, you know?
No, well, you can't. And you can't really understand people's pain.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Who knows?
Right. I just, it was one of those last, you come from that same bolt of cloth, that rebellious spirit there, and to see that somebody kind of lost their battle with those demons that's kind of what I mean is in terms of relating to having that kind of sense of loss. But anyway,
It was a bad week.
Yeah.
Kate Spade.
Yeah. Now, and of course, you were talking earlier. Did you have any relation? I'll cut this out because we were talking about did she know Kate or work with her or anything like that? Whatever. Okay. There was an episode. There was it's funny. I'm so far behind on the. I'm trying to play catch up. I wanted to have you take a look at this, and I'll show it to the camera as well. I was really struck to show you how far behind I am, guys. I have all the issues, but I'm still only on like 193. This is where I'm at right now. So I'm at 192, and I at 193. Now, if you look very closely right here, you can see it's a picture of a disheveled pit. When I read these, and I just read these last week, Larry, I got to tell you, it was probably it's so far easily my favorite issues. And I know there's a lot of criticism that's coming, but that I've read so far of the second act here. It really felt like that run that you did in around like the 30s of the original Joe series. Them, Scarlet and Snake Eyes going on vacation and kind of getting back to this look and this feel. Talk a little bit about that. Do you remember writing this? Do you remember what your mindset was? This was about 5 years ago.
I have no idea. Truthfully, I don't read my stuff after I've done it.
Right. Well, yeah.
So that's why everything with me is retcon. I think that if you sit around and just keep reading your own stuff, you get kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I'm just always looking for.
Well, yeah. But that was cool though.
Once it leaves my word processor, I don't look at it.
Right.
When they send me the copies, I don't read them.
Yeah. Well, I like that you're always moving forward, and I don't think you've ever really repeated yourself. I don't really think that this was kind of like a retro thing, but there was something about it that did kind of give me that same feeling. I don't know if it was the art or it just seemed like a less combat-based story and seemed like more of a human story, which was always kind of, there's so much heart to what you do. I think that the appeal of this comic isn't just guns and Cobra. There's a lot of soul in this. And it seemed to be these two issues especially for me seem to have that. So in terms of continuity though, talk a little bit about that, even though once it leaves your word processor, you move on. But is there some kind of trick or something that you do? I know that, like, a lot of people might know this, that the file cards that you see in the back of the toys were just his way of keeping it all together, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you do now with the comics?
What do you mean?
In terms of continuity.
I don't think in terms of continuity. I write everything page by page.
Okay.
I don't know what's on page 3 until I get to page 2.
It kind of reveals itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there, I love also that you base, and nobody can write this book but you, because they're all based on people that you know. So I love the idea of, has there ever been like a family member or a friend recently that may have read it or whatever and recognized themselves?
Oh no, most of the people know that they're in it. It's not a big secret.
Okay. But I mean, it's not like you're like smearing some ex-girlfriend or anything.
No.
In terms of music and stuff, what are you listening to right now? Is there anything newer that's inspiring you right now that you're listening to?
I sort of like Lake Street Dive and Beth Hart.
Oh, nice, good.
More current stuff. Even Nico Case.
Oh, good. Have you ever seen him perform live?
No.
You should.
I really don't go to concerts much.
Part of our goal for the show is to,
I think the last live act I saw was the Grateful Dead. And I only went because my deadhead dentist insisted that I go with him. He had 2 tickets. His wife refused to go.
So you have seen live music since the mid-90s. I know, surely you've, like, what part of Manhattan do you live in? Do you live in the Upper West Side or?
I really haven't been to a lot of
Really? There is, of course, obviously, the bustling scene there at our friends over here going to get a little loud on us. So we should probably go ahead and wrap up here. Larry, I wanted to ask you one last question here. Hopefully you guys can hear us here. Moving forward with GI Joe, you're always constantly moving forward. I gotta feel like there's something left that you're,
Thank you all very much.
that only you know, and I won't have you reveal it here. But is there this kind of coup de grace that you're planning in terms of the comic and the characters, of how you would eventually want to see them have a lasting legacy? Do you know what I'm saying? Is there, like you said, it doesn't reveal itself until later? It really is like that?
No, I don't know what's coming.
And I think that's the best. All you know is that it is coming, and it's going to be awesome because Larry's at the helm. You're the only one that can write this book, man. These are your characters.
Well, everybody else thinks they can, but they don't know these people. I mean,
right.
they don't. They think it's military action, strategy, and all that stuff. And it has nothing to do with it. It's all about the characters.
That's right.
And all the characters are my friends.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, how could somebody else? They think, oh, I could step in there, and I was in the military, and I can. Like, no, this is Larry and his friends, and that's why it has so much heart. But I think it's also why do you think it seems so personal? This will be my last question. You have such a great relationship with your fans, and I see the people that have been coming up to your table all weekend long, and they're just, you command this amount of respect. Don't you think that it's not because of the guns or, like you said, the military thing? What do you think is the main thing that has touched people with this book for as long as it has?
Well, the main thing has always been loyalty and personal loyalty,
Yeah.
which is what makes That's what makes the military tick. Nobody throws themselves on a grenade for flag and country. People throw themselves on grenades for the 4 other guys in the fire team, the 10 guys in your squad. That's how personal it is. It's very compelling. And, unless you understand that, it's very difficult to write about it this way.
Yeah. And once you get a concept of that, whenever it's
well, see, the thing is that with kids, a 10-year-old kid who was buying the book back in the 80s, kids know that that betrayal is always there. They've been betrayed. If you're 10 years old, you've been betrayed. You've been bullied, you've been dumped on, and the concept of this interpersonal loyalty within this tight group of people who were really tight is a compelling and important fantasy.
Yes.
That's the core of the fantasy that makes Harry Potter.
That's an interesting point.
This is not anything about magic. It's about that school and those other kids. And you could have watched all the movies and read all the books, and you can't tell me a single plot. But if I said, tell me about Hermione, you could.
Oh, yeah, right.
You could write a whole psychological profile.
Right.
But you can't tell me what the plot of Goblet of Fire was.
Right, but you remember the characters.
Right.
Yeah. And you remember the relationships.
Right. And that's what it's about. The plot is simply a simple framework upon which you hang interesting characters. And the characters are what you keep coming back to.
And we'll keep coming back for more and more and more, because these are the best characters that have been in my life since I was that 10-year-old in the 80s. Larry, I thank you so much again. It's always a pleasure to see you. Get back. I know you're flying out today. Do you have a preference? Are you flying to LaGuardia, Newark, or JFK?
I'd rather not say.
Good for you.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.